Am I overreacting for wanting to end my marriage after what my husband did during our break? I, 25 female, and my husband, 27 male, have been married for 2 years, together for 5. We married young, but we were both ready, emotionally and financially. We both wanted a big family. I got pregnant last year, and about 6 months ago, I had a stillbirth at 5 months. It happened after a fall. My husband slipped on the stairs and fell on me, and we both tumbled down. It was a freak accident. I don't blame him, but I was struggling not to at that point, and I had to be rushed to the hospital, and we lost the baby. The physical recovery was painful, and emotionally, I was a mess. I was grieving, traumatized, and mentally not okay. I asked for space. I told him I wanted to stay with my parents for a while to heal and process everything. I started therapy and encouraged him to do the same. I was gone about 2.5 months, trying to recover emotionally, physically, and mentally. Eventually, I moved back in. We resumed therapy together. Things were still heavy, but I thought we were trying to move forward. That's when he told me, very guiltily, that while I was away, he hooked up with another woman because we were on a break, in quotes. I was shocked, hurt, numb. We are married. We weren't on a break like in some high school relationship. I went to stay with my parents to grieve our child, not to take a break from the relationship. I never once implied it was okay to sleep with other people. He never asked or clarified. He just decided that's what our space meant. To make it worse, he waited 1.5 months after I came back to confess. That tells me he knew exactly what he was doing. He lied by omission for weeks. I left immediately. I booked a hotel for like 3 days, cut everyone off. Didn't want to talk to my parents or friends because I knew they'd try to convince me to forgive him. Right now, I'm staying with my brother for like 2 weeks. I've even stopped therapy. Everything feels pointless. He's been apologizing nonstop, saying we can fix this. We can keep going to counseling. We can rebuild. He's even involved both our parents. Everyone, his parents, my parents, are saying I should give him a chance, that he was grieving in his own way, that it wasn't cheating because we were apart. But I can't look at it that way. I feel betrayed. I think he made a choice, and I don't feel any desire to fight for this marriage anymore. Everyone except my brother is making me feel like I'm overreacting, that divorce is too far-fetched.
You guys don't understand it. His balls were crying, and it was the only way he could get the tears out.
Am I the asshole for putting googly eyes on all of the food in the fridge to prevent snacking? My roommate eats everything. I'll buy a pack of cheese sticks and they're gone by morning. I asked nicely, then labeled stuff, no change. So I got creative. I bought a pack of stick-on googly eyes and put them on everything. Milk, eyes, leftover spaghetti, judging you. Even taped one to a banana. It worked. He said it creeped him out and he stopped eating my stuff. Now he says I'm being passive aggressive and creating an emotionally hostile refrigerator. So am I the asshole for turning the fridge into a surveillance horror movie to stop my food from vanishing?
I don't understand your roommate dynamic. How can one of you be so filled with glee and joy and the other be so, I don't know, I'll say it, fat and coy? I'll say it, eating all the food and feeling like you're being slighted. And I can say that because I'm both fat and coy.
It's just crazy that, like, that's all it took to stop him. That seems like the least offensive thing you could have possibly done. And it's like, and that stopped them in their tracks, which is impressive.
My straight best friend lets me go down on her when she's bored. Lesbian here, early 30s, and my straight best friend, early 40s, is the most person I know for and men. I am that inexperienced lesbian who hasn't found love yet and quite frankly scared of it. She had a fantasy though, and I fulfilled it, to be in a threesome with her, but she just wanted sucking. I asked to go down on her and she agreed, and then it became a practice thing between us. In a span of 4 months, I've been in 2 different threesomes with her, probably like 10 plus times in all that, and I've eaten her out roughly the same. We've had 3 sessions alone. She said she has no desires or feelings when it happens, but says when she's bored, she'll let me practice using my tongue to give me experience and to learn. I'm not sure what to make of this. Is this normal? Is she secretly bisexual or a person who is hypersexual and will use anyone to satisfy herself? I mean, it beats master. I haven't caught feelings or anything, but it makes me wonder about her and what's going on in her head. It's been me strictly eating her, nothing else. No kissing. I do suck her sometimes. We get touchy sometimes during the act, but never out of it. No kissing, that's too intimate. I know this sounds absolutely stupid. Bear with me here.
So what's the question? Is just if the friend is queer?
Is this weird? Is this normal?
It's not. It's definitely a degree of abnormal. This isn't most people's sexual relationships.
I don't know. It does feel like OP's being used.
It does feel a little bit like that.
I mean, it depends, right? How much is the person who wrote this lying to themselves and to us, right? Like, if the person's straight up like, I don't have feelings for her, we're just having honest fun, I'm just getting practice in. But the preface of being like, I've never found love, honestly, a little scared of it.
Yeah, if you've never really been in like a real relationship and stuff, and it's like, this person that's giving me all the things that kind of comes with a relationship, normally a head's not in the Venn diagram, but in this instance, the head is in the Venn diagram. Sugarless gummy bear destroyed me. The title says it. The sugarless gummy bears were a mistake. I bought a super large pack on Amazon since they were cheap and looked good. They arrived a few days later, and me in my haste and excitement, I mowed them down. There was maybe a third of the bag left. I ate far too much. I then left to go do leg day as I had taken my carbs, the gummies, and my pre, I had a monster, but oh my goodness.
Can't describe a pre-workout meal of carbs and pre-workout as sugarless gummies.
I had my carbs and my pre. But oh my goodness, that was the biggest mistake I've ever made. For context, I hate doing leg day. I almost always feel like throwing up and pooping for whatever reason. My body just won't let me unless I have an empty stomach. This session was different though. I was feeling really good. I don't know why, but this is when things got bad. I had just finished my RDLs and was moving on to squats when the first rumble hit. It wasn't much at first, just a small gurgle. I had a feeling something was off, but I thought I could just shake it off. Maybe power through it. Big mistake. A few minutes later, the gurgle turned into what sounded like a war in my stomach. Things were sloshing around in there. It was like someone had lit a firecracker in there and it was getting closer to the fuse. My legs were shaking, not just from the weight, but from the pressure building up inside of my body. All of a sudden, I started sweating in waves of heat and cold. It was disgusting, and that's when it hit. The sharp, undeniable pain. It wasn't just a sign, it was an alarm. I had to go to the bathroom, and I was mid-squat. I quickly dropped the weight and started speed walking while clenching my cheeks, trying to control myself, but my legs were like jelly. After all post-leg day, it was already over. The tightness became unbearable, and it happened right there in the middle of the gym. I froze. I thought it was just gas, but in my fear, combined with the sugarless gummy bear's malice, a horrible, unrelenting force surged through me. Physically, I felt relieved, but I was horrified. I looked around and saw people staring at me.
Probably because you threw the weights down.
My body could have chose fight or flight, and it chose flight. I just sprinted to my car and drove off.
What?
Safe to say I'm never going back to that gym ever again. I don't know what to do. I threw out my shorts and I've cleaned my car, but now anytime I enter, all I can think of is the liquid gummy bears. Has this happened to any of you guys?
Am I the asshole for calling my husband a fucking asshole? This just happened. I'm still fuming, but I need to know if I was in the wrong for calling him that. I was working out in our basement home gym in the middle of a heavy set doing legs. My husband called out to me from the top of the stairs. I told him, hang on, so I could finish the set.
Okay.
He kept calling me. Again, I said, 1 sec. When I finished and made my way back upstairs, no more than 30 seconds later from when he first called out to me, he was just annoyed and angry with me because I was apparently ignoring him.
What? I mean, 30 seconds is not ignoring enough time in my book. Okay, that's...
So I explained to him that I was in the middle of a heavy set, so I couldn't speak right away, but I did respond, hang on.
That is true. Yeah, you actually did not ignore him, yeah.
He kept brushing me off and ignoring me, so I told him normally when someone is working out, you wait until they're done with the set to talk to them. His response to that was to be dismissive, as if that wasn't really a quote-unquote thing, and was mocking me.
What?
My husband does not work out, so I didn't expect him to know this. So after he was talking to me like I was stupid, I just had enough and said, seriously, you're mad at me because you were talking to me while I was lifting a heavy set? You're being a fucking asshole. He obviously didn't appreciate that and blew up. Now he's left the house and I'm pretty annoyed still. He was being one and that's how I felt, so I called him it. Am I wrong? Edit.
No, I'm going to say no immediately, but let's see.
2 edits. It was suggested to add this comment to the original post. Yes, we both jokingly refer to myself as a quote-unquote bitch all the time because I'm not great with expressing my feelings, grew up with Asian parents. I'm kind of cold and call out things as they are. I don't usually ever call him names, however, there was one time I didn't like how he was speaking to me, so I asked him why he was being a dick to me. I guess he realized that he was and changed his tone. Last edit. We talked when he got home. I apologized for saying he was a fucking asshole. I asked him what happened before he got to that, why he was so angry before he even got upstairs. He said he was upset because when he shouted my name at the top of the stairs, he was expecting a yes or a what. I told him I already said hang on in 1 sec. He did not want to hang on though. He wanted me to respond immediately so that he could ask me if I had fed the dog yet.
Wait, what?
This edit wasn't here when I picked this. This makes it so much worse. I told him I thought I was being reasonable / respectful and that I wanted to finish my set first so I could make my way upstairs to give him my attention.
Yeah.
This is very much unlike him. Usually he'd just walk downstairs if he called me and I didn't respond. We both apologize. Things are still a little tense, so we're just going to chill out separately around the house until we're both completely cooled down. Bad news, your husband's annoying.
Yeah, that was
Not only is he an asshole, a fucking asshole, he's annoying. I hate it when people are like, "Can I ask you something?"
Balanced by the unsweetened recipe box. Let me know.
Hey, you didn't respond to me.
You're ignoring me.
Yeah.
What did you want? What did you want? Could you did you get the mail?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't gotten the mail yet.
Well, you could have said earlier, like, check the fuck, do it yourself, bud.
Yeah.
And if I didn't respond, I don't know. Usually I do respond.
Yeah, because I mean,
This hasn't happened to me. You don't do this to me.